Right, welcome viewing several once again to my little series I like to call Hands Up Who Loves a Train Set? Me. So I did say I was going to have a look at this TT set following my look the other day at the older style TT system from Triang from the 1950s and early 60s. So this one, I bought this a couple of years back I think, and the price of these, it looked like, you know, when they first came out, a lot of these became quite cheap. They didn't seem to sell that well, and I bought this for a very good price from, I can't remember which retailer, but one of the main retailers. And then I had my cataracts and I never really opened it until now. So I've given it a look at today. So we're just gonna do I'm just going to quickly show you it. I'm not going to do too much of a detailed review because this is quite a common set, unlike some of the other sets, and there are some very good reviews by people who know how to film much better, do a much better job than I can. So I'm just doing it for the series, just to quickly give my quick thoughts on it. But if you want to see a proper review, there's, I think, Jennifer Kirk does one, and a couple of the other big reviewers do them, and obviously they're much better to watch one of their reviews. So let's have a look in the box. Right, so quick look in the box. Oval of track, you get about 6 straight, and you get one of these points. I don't know if it's a DCC, if it's, you know, if it's an isolate. It looks like an isolating point, so you might have to add the little clips on it. Because this is a Bluetooth control, you've just got the AC adapter, and that plugs straight into the track basically. You get a re-railer and a set of buffers, and then you get these rather nice let's see if I can get that into view. Yeah, these are nice. I mean, they're not much, they don't seem to be a lot bigger than N gauge at this scale, particularly since N gauge is 1 to 148 and this is 1 to 120, whereas obviously US and N gauge is 1 to 160. So yeah, it's got this A3 locomotive, it's got some nice details. As I say, it's probably not, I'm probably not going to do too much detail because there are people who've done much better reviews on this set that I've watched when I decided to buy this. So it's a very nice set, so I'm going to show it running and then I'll wrap up with some final thoughts comparing it to the old TT. Right, we're on the track. I can't use my mobile because I've got to use this to drive the train. Now, I don't particularly like the control system using Bluetooth on this phone, so I probably will try it as well with my digital controller because I think that will just be better. I think this touchscreen's a bit silly. Right, we'll turn the sound on and we'll set the train going. Give it a bit more juice. Now, I'm only going to do a short video of this because a lot of other people have reviewed this set and have done a much better job than I can do. But I'm just going to show it for my little series, and partly because I want to compare this to the old style Triang TT. We're just going to come past nice and slow. It's actually a lovely model. It's true scale, whereas the Triang TT is the same 12mm gauge. but obviously it's a slightly oversized scale at 1 to 101 approximately, whereas this is more true scale at 120. So this is, I think, two and a half mil to a foot, whereas trying TT is 3mm. Yeah, I'm not going any faster than that because the track is not secured. It's quite loose, so I don't want it to fall off the table after all. This sound isn't bad. There's a whole load of sounds on here. I'm not going to go through them here because, as I say, there'll be other people who've done better videos of this set. So there we go. It's actually really lovely, this, but I don't like the phone control. But you can control it with a normal DCC controller, so I'm going to probably use it like that. But I've got another TT set on order, which is the Little Good set, and if I build a TT layout, I actually probably will just have it as DC because it's not going to be a particularly big layout. This is a lot of fun, this sound, but I don't know, it gets on your nerves a bit quick, so I'm just going to turn it off and run it a couple of laps with no sound. Yeah, I think I actually prefer that without the sound. I don't know about you, but yeah, we can stop it by pressing stop. And there's a stop layout button as well, like you've got on most DCC controllers. So yeah, that's very nice little set. I am quite pleased with that. It does fit on my desk just about, and yeah, I think I'll enjoy it more with a proper controller with a tactile feedback of an actual control knob throttle. Anyway, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you on the next one. Right, final thoughts then. Well, this is a brilliant set. It's a really nice true scale, high quality locomotive and lovely coaches. It's really nice. I think it's good value for money. Now, when it comes to the sounds, they are pretty good, but to be honest, I'm not sure. I think they get on my nerves after a while, and I would probably run it most of the time with no sound. I do not like using my touchscreen on my phone to control it, but you don't have to do that. I did it for the purpose of this video. I don't think I'm ever going to use it like that because I just don't like it. I prefer to have a proper controller with a rotary encoder knob or whatever. So that's not gonna. I'm not going to be using that. But you don't have to use that because these decoders will work with either system. The fact that the model is high, the fact that the model is very good, very detailed, means the downside of that, for me personally, is I'm quite clumsy. I struggle not to, I pulled the couplings out of the sockets. It's just, for me, it's a bit fiddly. One of the reasons I like the older models like 00, Hornby 00, the Meccano Hornby 00, and the Triang stuff, is they're pretty bulletproof, and I'm not that interested in details. I'm more interested in running, and I find modern models a bit too fragile for me personally. because I just tend to break stuff, or bits fall off, you know. Even in 00 scale, some of my detailed models, every time I get them out the box, I've got more bits in the bottom of it. So for me, this is a little bit fragile, and it is very nice, but if I were to set this up on a layout, I do wonder whether it would be vulnerable to, you know, whereas the trying stuff, you just leave it out, it's no problem. I guess your mileage may vary, and you know, some people are just not clumsy, but yeah, my sausage fingers, just handling these type of locomotives gives me the worries me, because I always think I'm going to break them. So that said, it's a much better quality, a much more serious modeller's model. I think for younger children, it's probably a bit fiddly, but I have got on pre-order one of the new TT120 sets, which is the 040 shunting goods set. So I think that's going to be a little bit lower cost and less detail, and probably more suitable for clumsy people and also younger people, and you know. So I would recommend it. I think it's very good, and I'm going to be using it from now on, probably without the sound. And really, having said, you know, that I probably wouldn't use the sound, and I prefer a proper controller, I probably could have saved myself a lot of money and got the one without the chip in it and just the analog controller. And I probably should have got that one, but I really did want to have a look at HM7000 to see what it was all about. So it is nice, but I think for me, I would have got I think if I was to advise me now, in the past, I'd say get the analog one, but you know, your mileage may vary. But anyway, cheers for watching, and I've done this now, so I'm gonna go back and do some older stuff next, some of the tin plate stuff. I'm gonna be setting up in the garden to do that, because the O gauge is a lot bigger, and hopefully if we get some nice weather, it'd be nice to play with that outside. Plus also the Hornby 00 tin track stuff, and probably some more triang stuff. So we're going to go backwards in time a bit next, and maybe even some of the sort of clockwork tin plate stuff, like the Technofix sets as well. So so yeah, I think this is one of the most modern sets that I've got, and it is brilliant. But as I say, I don't know if it suits me as well. I mean, the older TT, I think I enjoyed that more when I was playing with that the other day. So that's just me. I think this is clearly a far superior set in terms of everything. Except if you're heavy-handed or a small child, you'd probably be best off to avoid this one. But there you go.